Welcome back, everyone. We are on our module number 2, and I hope you found module number 1 informative. I hope you learned quite a bit from that, and setting up and working in sketch mode and then going to feature mode. We're going to add to that today, and we're going to start showing you what is called constructive solid geometry concepts. Now, we have our textbook for this class, and it is, of course, an SDC product, very good book. And I want to draw, this is in chapter 3, and I want to draw the locator design. Okay, and I want you guys, as I draw this, I want you to follow along with me and draw it with me. Just have it on your computer and just pause as you need to and draw this up with me. We're going to talk about this, what they call a Boolean operations. Okay, it's B-O-O-L-E-A-N. Some people call it Boolean. Most people call it Boolean operations. But it's when you take primitive solids and then you either join them, intersect them, or cut them. And that's basically what we're going to do. Once you get the idea of this, how this works, you've already got the 2D, you've drawn out 2D and then taken and extruding it. Now, I want to show you how to go a step farther, is take the different solid concepts and be able to do these Boolean operations and be able to basically make about anything that you want. So, first thing I want to do is just hit New, and this one is going to be a metric drawing. So I want to come in here, Metric, and I want to slide down and find my millimeters, because in mechanical drawings, that's what you're going to see is millimeters. So right here, I want a standard drawing, IPT, but I want it millimeters. So double click that and get everything set up. So, like I said, I want you guys to follow along with me when we get this going. And again, I will start 2D sketch, and I always like to start on my XY plane. And usually that's what most programs default to start out with. So we're going to be on our XY plane, and we're going to start drawing this object up. Before we do, well, we might as well go ahead and start. Now, I'll tell you how this Boolean operation works. You have primitive solids. So the first thing I want to do is show you what a primitive solid is, basically. And I want to go in here, and we'll just do a circle, just like what we've done before. And I want to make it a 50 millimeter diameter. Okay. And I'll finish that, and I want to extrude this, okay? And I want to extrude it 40 millimeters. So 40, hit OK on that. So right there is a basic primitive solid model. It's a solid object, okay? So now, check this out. I'm going to add another piece to this, and I'll join them as one piece. And I'll show you how to do that. So before, when we started a new sketch, we started it on a plane, right? X, Y, Y, Z, all that good stuff. Well, this one, I can start a sketch right on the face of this. I can start it on the face of this. So that's what I want to do. I come over here, start 2D sketch. It's asking me basically where you want that 2D sketch to start. I want it to be on this surface. So I click. And y'all see that? Now, if you'll notice, here's my sketch. You can see my grid here, but my sketch is now on this face. I'm going to turn that back around so I can look at it flat. And check this out. I'm going to draw me another primitive. I'm just going to draw me a rectangle. I want to catch that point and come all the way up here And we know this is 50 millimeters all the way up there. So I can tab between those two dimensions. That one right there should be 50. Tab up here to the top, and that should be 75. Okay? So you guys get those dimensions. So I got that in there just like that. And that's exactly what I want for the time being. Okay? I can roll it around and look. All right. So I can finish it on out, and I want to extrude. Y'all see that? I want it to extrude upwards, and I want that to extrude we'll just take a look and I'll see what thickness of it. We'll go about 10 millimeters would be okay. Let me see if that looks halfway right. So you can actually take and move it, and again you can flip it both ways like this or go in the midpoint. I want to be like this. 15's a little bit too much. I want to go with 10, okay? And again, you're doing this, got 10 there, everything looks good. I'm just going to hit OK. You see what happened? It cut that out. Well, this is a bowling operation, okay? And I'll show you what happened. So you can either take two of these primitive objects and you can either cut it or you can join it or intersect it. This time I cut it. I didn't want to cut, okay? So just like we went in there and did our sketch, and you'll notice over here in the history, this is something we're going to get into the next class, but you'll notice that my second primitive was extrusion 2, my first was extrusion 1. If I want to work on the sketch, I have to go to sketch 2, but I want to go back to the extrusion. And you'll notice up here, you see this bullion right here? This one's cut, this one's join. I want to join. And what join means, it's going to add these two pieces together that are actually intersecting one another. This one means cut, like you just seen. So I want to join it and hit OK. And now you see they're joined together in that operation. So I want you guys to do that. The next operation is I want to put another sketch right on top of this and put me a hole in it all the way through. Now, if you've ever used some other products before, some other softwares, works a little bit, they're very similar in the way they work whenever you come to this operation. But on this one, I want to put a hole right through the top of it. And I want to put a 30 millimeter hole going all the way through. So again, come over here and see my two extrusions. There's one, there's two. But now, start me another sketch. I want to be right on the top of this. I come over here to my circle, and I want to put in here 30. And that's all I want. That's all I want for the time being. And whenever I finish sketch, I go to extrude, and I want to go all the way through this. And again, that was 40 millimeters. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if I put 40 in there. I could type in 40, and I can turn this around, pull it, or you can flip it. And 40, and you can see here when I turn it perfectly sideways, it's going all the way through the part. But it doesn't matter. I can put 70 on there. It doesn't matter because it's just, I'm using that to cut with. I'm not going to join it. And again, here's my bullion operation. I want to cut. Now, if I turn this to join, you see how it changes? Whenever you're cutting, it turns it to like a little bit of a red highlight. Your join, it turns it to more like a little bluish green. But I want to cut, and all I do is just hit OK. It's gone. Okay. And you'll notice extrusion 1, extrusion 2, extrusion 3. It's took those different primitives to make this thing so far. The last piece of it, it's got like a little groove and a hole in it here. So I go up here, start sketch again, 2D sketch, click it right on the face there. And the book, if you go through the tutorial, it kind of takes you in a different direction. I'm just going to show you how that I would go about doing this one very simply. I'm going to get myself a circle, and I put it right here. And the diameter of that's supposed to be 20 diameter. And then I just got to locate it. Locate it from here to here, according to the book, is 30. And from here to here is 25, right on the money. Okay? So now I've got that on there. All I have to do is hit line, come in here and click on that quadrant all the way out to the end. Click on that quadrant all the way out to the end. And it doesn't matter, I'm going to cut all this. I can actually go past it. It doesn't matter. And a lot of times I do that just so I can see what I want to cut. And then I'll trim this a little bit. As long as it's all one piece, when I finish this up, because I want to cut down through this and make this little groove for a bolt to hold this thing down. So I hit extrude, come over here and see how it's trying to catch different things. You can catch all of it. See, it's wanting to join it, but I don't want it to join. I want it to cut. And usually when you hit cut, it flips it around to where it's actually going to cut through the material. And I hit OK. Just like that. There's that part. There's that part on that tutorial. It's nothing bad. And I get looking at it, I believe that this is too thin right here. All right. This is the beauty about parametric modeling. I can go back in and find this that I made. Remember that primitive solid piece? Right there it is. Do you see it? I can come in here, and if you want to fix the sketch, and we're going to talk about that in our next unit coming up, but I can go to extrusion 2. Actually, there we go. Double click it, and I can change it. I can change it to 15 millimeter. Y'all see that? And I'm not for sure if it was 15. I'd have to look it up in the book, but that looks a little closer. But the beauty of parametrics is you can edit and revise, and you know, it's just really easy and simple compared to a lot of other softwares. So again, I want you guys to get this one completed. Take you a snipping picture of it, because you will place this on your submission form for this module too. So there's a lot of other drawings that we're going to do this week, and you're going to use these methods that I just showed you to get to the final part. You're going to use these Boolean methods, and it's really, really cool. But if you need my help, please let me know.